Planet Dolan. In the world of fiction, you can find people some pretty amazing powers and weird behaviour, from the X-Files to the X-Men. What about the real world? What remarkable abilities do some people possess? What freaks in nature are alive today despite the rules of medical science? Here are the human beings you won't believe exist. I'm Danger Dolan, and today I will be your narrator.
Number 15.
Superman. The man is still maybe fictional, but he has some real-life equivalents. Lithuanian Zydrunas Savickas has won pretty much every international strongman competition for the last decade and can deadlift nearly half a ton. But even stranger is Filipino Herbert Chavez, who spent 15 years and $6,000 on surgeries to transform himself into a chiseled-jawed, blue-eyed Clark Kent. He says that, like Superman, he hopes to inspire children. Never knew cosmetic surgery was inspirational.
Number 14.
A Vietnamese man named Thai Ngoc has been confusing the world of neuroscience by living a normal life without any need for sleep whatsoever. Since a fever back in 1973, Thai has continued to work on his farm day and night without sleeping, doubling his productivity. Numerous doctors and TV camera crews have attempted to document and explain his condition, but his permanent insomnia is still a mystery. That bastard, wish I could never sleep.
Number 13.
50-year-old Julia Kopoulos is a care worker and mother of two. She also happens to be a servant of the darkness who drinks almost 2 liters of human blood every month. The Pennsylvanian vampire has had a craving for the red stuff since she was 15 and now relies on willing donations from people who are into that sort of thing. She says that it makes her feel stronger and healthier. Me, I just stick with smoothies.
Number 12.
Stretchiest stomach. Competitive eating combines America's two favorite things, sports and gluttony. And since 2000, the world of face stuffing has been dominated by 2 men. Most famous is Takeru Kobayashi, a Japanese eater who once managed 15.5 pizzas in 12 minutes, which is 1 slice every 10 seconds. But defending champion is American Joey Chestnut, who devoured 103 hamburgers in 8 minutes and 72 hot dogs in 10 minutes. Weirdly, both men are still surprisingly thin. Is this list just documentation of people I wish I could be? God damn.
Number 11.
Stephen Wiltshire has perhaps one of the most incredible minds alive today. The British artist creates vast and detailed architectural drawings of buildings and whole cities, all completely from memory. In 2005, he took a helicopter ride over the city of Tokyo and then drew a 10-meter canvas from his mind's eye over the next week. In 2011, he did the same for New York with a 76-meter long panorama that detailed every building in Manhattan.
Number 10.
Spanish actor Javier Botet is a very distinctive looking man, standing at 2 meters tall, yet weighing only 120 pounds. He suffers from a rare genetic condition known as Marfan syndrome, which causes bones to grow elongated and narrow, yet leaves the person with highly flexible joints. Botet has benefited from this in his career as a horror actor, appearing as several terrifying figures in movies such as Mama, REC 2, and the upcoming Slender Man. And here's one person I don't really want to be. Just saying.
Number 9.
The genderless alien being. Gender can be a confusing concept these days, as society is slowly recognizing that male and female just may be 2 ends of a spectrum. Californian by the name of Vinny O has chosen to be neither and instead identifies as an alien being. Vinny states that she/he has wanted to be sexless and genderless since the age of 17 and has spent £45,000 achieving the look. The next step is complete removal of the genitalia to become an extraterrestrial without testicles. This list is quickly transformed into people I just... no. I like me.
Number 8.
The human chimera. When Lydia Fairchild was applying for child support, she submitted DNA samples from herself and her ex-partner. The results proved the man to be the father, but bizarrely showed that Lydia was not the mother. Accused of fraud, Lydia had her newborn's DNA tested immediately, and again didn't match. Baffled doctors realized that Lydia was a chimera, a combination of twins that had merged into one person, meaning that her womb and her face were 2 different people with different DNA. Christ, it sounds like a movie.
Number 7.
Iceman. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That seems to be the motto of Wim Hof, a Dutch extreme athlete who has a passion for pushing his body to the lower limits of temperature. In 2011, he broke his previous records by standing immersed in ice for nearly 2 hours. He also attempted to climb Mount Everest with nothing but a pair of shorts. Hof uses specialized breathing techniques to moderate his internal body temperature.
Number 6.
The Torture King. If you thought of freezing yourself to death just doesn't appeal, how about shoving a needle through your mouth? This is the career of Tim Cridland, also known as Zamora the Torture King. Zamora is a sideshow performer who electrocutes himself or impales himself with sharp metal through his arms or face. You'd think the man has no sensation of pain, but in fact, Zamora has trained himself to feel pain differently, meaning that anyone can do what he does. The question is, why would they do that?
Number 5.
Car lover. When you see a car that's so cool you just want to have sex with it? No? Well, then you have nothing in common with Edward Smith, who proudly claims to have fornicated Fords, Ferraris and Fiats for 50 years. The automobile enthusiast has a promiscuous history of 1,000 cars and even a few helicopters when he was going through an experimental phase. He's currently dating a white Volkswagen Beetle named Vanilla.
Number 4.
18 bicycles, 7 television sets, 15 shopping carts, and a Cessna 150 light airplane. These are just a few items from the menu of Michael Lotito, Frenchman with an appetite for metal, glass, and wood. Lotito has a condition known as pica, which is characterized by a compulsive desire to eat non-food items. As well as this, he has a unnaturally thick stomach lining, allowing pieces of a chandelier or a pair of skis to pass easily through his gut.
Number 3.
Daniel Kish went blind when he was only a year old. When he grew up, he developed the habit of clicking, which helped him navigate the world a bit better. Eventually, he realized that he was utilizing echolocation to create a mental map of his surroundings, the same way a bat does with squeaks. Kish can determine the material of any surfaces by the sound of its reflection, and can even use his skill in noisy environments like concerts.
Number 2.
Slavica Pajic is a world-famous conductor from Serbia. But Slavica doesn't work with an orchestra, he conducts electricity through his body, with seemingly no damage or pain whatsoever. He's conducted 20,000 volts through his body, which would normally generate enough current to kill a person. He has also cooked a sausage by holding it and allowing current to pass through it. All of this is supposedly possible because he lacks sweat glands on his skin.
Number 1.
Frano Solak, a Croatian man, survived when a train he was on fell off the tracks and crashed into a river in 1962, killing 17 others. The following year, he traveled by a plane, which also crashed after dropping Salak into a haystack. 3 years later, a bus he was on was met with a similar fate, followed by 4 more road accidents over the next 20 years. In a pleasing twist, he won $1 million in the lottery in 2003, finally answering the question over whether he is the luckiest or unluckiest person alive. This video was made possible by our fans over on Patreon. Thanks for your support, guys. That is it for this countdown. Have a good one!